everyone. This is Carrie from Celestial Forecasts. If you have been drawn to this reading, perhaps there's a reason for it. I'll be focusing on a divine masculine twin flame connection. So my audience is predominantly divine feminine. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what comes through for you, divine feminine, focusing on your connection with your masculine. I am channeling for those of you who are definitely not together. You are in separation. For some of you, maybe it's been a long time. For others, maybe it's been more of a recent breakup or separation. But nevertheless, this is giving you an opportunity to choose your own message. I have 3 separate decks here, or 3 different card deck piles that I have created for you to choose from. Feel free to go ahead and pause the video in order for you to concentrate on whichever message you would like to hear. I will go ahead and timestamp it down below, and feel free to go ahead, of course, and watch the one you chose or watch the whole thing. If you find that the message that you ended up choosing does not resonate, feel free to go ahead and watch the others, because there could be something there for you. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and get into it. General advice as always, so please keep that in mind when you're listening to these readings, and only take the parts of it that make sense for you and release the rest. All right, guys, so let's get into some messages here. All right, guys, for those of you who chose number 1, I pulled from 3 different decks, the Twin Flame Journey Oracle by Mystic Moon, and I grabbed some verbiage from my Dark Mysteries Oracle, this one specifically focusing on the Divine Masculine, and from Jennifer Aquarius Tarot's deck, Sands of Time Oracle. So let me go ahead and set this number aside so we can concentrate on the messages. So you guys ended up getting conclusion. This particular message here says, loving you was the easiest thing I've ever done. Leaving you was the hardest. So for some of you, maybe you decided to detach, divine feminine. You know, it doesn't really matter who decided to walk away or leave it behind. But in this particular message, it does indicate that something came to an end. More than likely, it could have been a masculine that decided to go in a different direction. And then we've got universal alignment here. So it could even be, when it comes down to timing, I'm picking up definitely divine timing for some of you. You had to wait and have patience until things came together. Perhaps at this point in time with a brand new year, things are finally lining up. The stars have aligned, so to speak. So let's go ahead and grab some tarot messages here to see what that energy looks like for you. All right, so perhaps your masculine feels that you do hold the key to their heart, that you do hold the key to whatever it is that they needed to figure out while you guys were in separation. We do have the 6 of Cups, so this is a past influence focusing on your divine masculine. You guys could have also connected in a past life, and whenever I pick up off of twin flame connections, it's sometimes that type of realization when you first meet, when you first see each other. And, you know, it's one of those things where you don't even know each other, but when you see each other for the very first time, you just feel pulled to either talk to them, or maybe they talked to you and approached you. There's something about you that they were just drawn to when it comes to your masculine, to you divine feminine. So an instant attraction is not uncommon when it comes to twins. 6 of Cups, it says young love. For some of you guys, maybe you guys met when you were young, okay, depending, of course, on where you're at on your journey in life. You guys could have been childhood sweethearts. Maybe you met in school. You know, you guys could have lived in the same neighborhood, whatever the case might be. It's either that or you guys just have a very youthful energy to you, lots of laughter, lots of fun times. This is the next card right here. So 4 of Cups, picking up off of the divine masculine's regrets. And I feel there was a point, or maybe this is where they're at right now, where they do regret either not doing something about the separation, or if they could just go back in time to undo some of the things that they either did or said. I'm kind of feeling this, especially for those of you who haven't seen each other for a very long time. And, you know, maybe a part of the masculine's thoughts are that even if they were to approach you or reach out, that maybe at this point it would just be more of a disruption in your life if they were to try to communicate with you. I feel, just based off of this, there are times when their thoughts, their memories are so overwhelming. You know, it's kind of that type of vibe where they look at their phone, hoping you'd call, hoping you'd text, hoping to see you maybe on social media. But it's one of those things where you're wishing for something to happen, but it just never does. And I'm kind of picking up off of that type of experience from the masculine for this one. Look at this. We have the Tower coming through. That does not surprise me because it does indicate the separation. That's what we're focused on here. So you guys went through something pretty heavy. You know, it's not always infidelity. It's not always third parties. For some of you, maybe it was. But this certainly represents something super challenging. It's a lost foundation. It's an unhealthy relationship. So I feel the separation could have also resulted in you guys having to figure things out on your own, but doing that apart from each other. We do have the Three of Swords, if I can speak today. This can indicate a love triangle on occasion, okay? But regardless of how it presents itself, it's hurtful, it's heartbreak, it's grief because they're not with you. And they ultimately know perhaps that they are responsible for hurting you, for hurting your heart, for not being a part of your life. You know, and just the fact that this says loving you was the easiest thing I've ever done, leaving you was the hardest. So if that was the case and they decided to leave the connection, I'm feeling they now realize that that was the wrong choice. We do have the Star. Some of you could be thinking of Aquarius here. This is a masculine, divine feminine that continues to think about you clearly, hoping and wishing that there could possibly be a way for them to reach out, to return, to be a part of your life again. I feel you hold the cards here, divine feminine. You hold the key, whether or not this is a situation that can be opened back up. If that is a door that you've closed, you know, maybe in your heart of hearts, you still think about your divine masculine. You still feel drawn to them, you know, that magnetic pull that twin flames often experience. This is a masculine who continues to wish for you. But, you know, it could also be quite traumatizing and stressful for them when they think about it. Eight of Swords represents imprisonment, and a lot of that energy is mental. You know, if they could just get past their negative thoughts and just do it anyway, even if it is to text you, even if it is to pick up the phone and call you, or to maybe send you a message online, whatever it is, they can actually do that, but they stop themselves from doing it because they're so sure that you would either not respond, ignore it, you know, delete it, block them, whatever the case. You know, they're just allowing their negative thoughts to get in the way. Now, for some of you guys, maybe that is the reality. That is exactly what would happen, that you would reject them. You're not interested. They broke your heart. They hurt you, all of that. And so they could be picking up off of your energy as well as to why they're not taking any sort of action here. Wheel of Fortune. And that's followed by the Five of Cups here. So I'm feeling that this is a situation. We clearly see that there's the conclusion. Something happened. It's like reading a book and it came to an end. And maybe it wasn't a happy ending. And part of that Five of Cups is pretty intense. I mean, we see the Three Cups right there, and a masculine perhaps failing to recognize the Two Cups behind him. And so if these Three Cups actually represent a love triangle, a third party, or whatever drama that represents, I feel that's a huge focus for this masculine, and he's struggling through it. But, you know, the Wheel of Fortune is there for a reason. Ultimately, I am feeling that it really is still a part of your love story with your masculine to reconnect, especially with the Wheel of Fortune coming through, because this can represent change. It does represent a new cycle that is coming in. You know, maybe you guys are still destined, you know, still fated to reconnect here. Let's see what else. Six of Pentacles. I feel that's a crucial part of the equation here when it comes to the two of you. If they did something here to compromise the relationship and you guys just were not on the same page, and perhaps you guys were more in disagreement rather than in agreement, I feel with the Six of Pentacles coming through, that would really be quite helpful, because it is giving us an energy of sharing, of giving, of receiving, and you know, that's what equality is all about in this partnership. And if there was a third party, if there were other people getting in the way, that's very difficult to just have equality in the relationship, because someone is driving a wedge in that partnership. Look at that. We've got the Nine of Cups. So we do have two cards, the Star as well as the Nine of Cups, indicating that your masculine is in this type of mentality where they really are wishing for you to be a part of their life, a part of their future again. You know, almost looking up to the heavens, almost looking up to the stars, wishing and hoping that somehow you guys would still be able to find each other. I love it when I see the Six of Pentacles and the Three of Pentacles in a reading. You know, equality, teamwork. I feel that could have been lacking before. That could also be a part of the masculine's regret from when you guys broke up, or whatever fell short of their intentions when you guys were together. So they're coming through with a very different vibe here. Look at that, Divine Feminine. They see you as this Empress. Creation of life. And I feel when you guys parted ways, their life changed, you know, not for the better. I feel part of this Tower energy really did a number on their life, not just their personal life. It could have even affected maybe their work environment, their friendships, their associations, however way they connected with other people. It affected who they were. And so you might find that they're coming towards you as a much improved, very different version of who they are. They see you as the person that they want to create a life with. Wow, Ace of Pentacles. That's what they want, a new beginning. You know, I feel they struggle a lot to believe that this can have a positive outcome. But as long as they're coming towards you with the best of intentions, and I feel that with this energy coming through, they are. And I feel, my feminines, if you can be open to the possibility of trying again, possibly allowing your masculine to say what it is that he needs to say in order to get things off his chest, you know. And I feel there could be some unfinished business, certainly unspoken words between the two of you, that there's a lot to say here, and that can only be expressed through interaction, through communication, through reaching out. And I do feel that this is a masculine who wants to do that. And look at the next card, we have the Judgment, that day of reckoning. I feel your masculine has gone through it, and they still feel connected to you. I'm feeling for number one, and maybe Divine Feminine, you've even thought, you know, will I ever see my Divine Masculine twin flame again? I feel for this one, there's a really good chance at reconnecting. You know, reconnecting in the way that you will interact once again in the 3D, but, you know, reconciliation may not be in the books for every person tuning in for number one. You have to want it. And if you're not interested, what I find here is that you might still see and run into and interact with your masculine, and maybe it can simply bring you healing and closure from that conversation. If it doesn't result in a reconciliation, then it could certainly bring about healing. That is what I have for number 1. All right, guys, so hopefully that helps you and that there was something here that really spoke to you when it comes to your connection with your divine masculine. All right, guys, so if you chose number 2, let's go ahead and get into those messages. Okay, if you chose number 2, let's go ahead and take a look at the messages here. So these are the 3 decks that I am drawing from the Twin Flame Journey Oracle by Mystic Moon. This is my Dark Mysteries Oracle, specifically focused on the Divine Masculine's heart space. And then we'll go ahead and grab a card from Jennifer Aquarius Tarot Sands of Time Oracle. All right, so let's go ahead and analyze this, and then we'll go ahead and grab some tarot. So this one, we have Union. I've been plagued by karmic lessons since you left me. So for the masculine, there could have been some major lessons tied into this connection. There could have also been a karmic partnership that they needed to go through. That was a part of their journey as well. I love that this is coming through for number 2. It's time to be happy, because when somebody's plagued by something, that's not a pleasant experience, but it's a necessary one. If you have been thinking about your divine masculine, and possibly, it might have even crossed your mind, it's like, can we ever work this out? Can we ever find our way back to each other again? They think about that too. They're wanting to come back into union with you because that's where their happiness is. So let's go ahead and grab some tarot for number 2 here. Angels and spirit guides, please, what do we need to know when it comes to the divine masculine twin flame connection? All right, what do we need to know here? Look at that, the 10 of Wands, heavy burdens. That's exactly what this lesson felt like to your masculine, I feel. And I'm also getting the separation from you, divine feminine. That was a necessary part of this masculine's journey. It needed to happen. It's one of those things where I feel if they would have stayed in your life, it would have just ended up hurting you, possibly even more than it actually already has. 4 of Cups. Oh, they have so many regrets. Look at that with the 4 of Cups. Yes, they feel and would love to be able to find their happiness in life, certainly in a relationship, but they also have a lot of issues here coming through. The heaviness of what they're feeling, it's represented here for sure. I feel this is a divine masculine who's had their fair share of depression, of having to deal with life's stresses. This right here, they feel the disconnection that you guys have experienced, divine feminine. And for some of you, maybe you have already moved on to another relationship at this point. So the heaviness continues. It's like this is an anvil on your masculine's shoulders, just weighing very heavily on them, thinking about it and, feeling like they really missed the chance to be with you in the way that they now see, that they want to be with you. The Fool, yeah, they want a new beginning with you. Can they actually have that? It depends, it depends, divine feminine, if you would even be open to seeing your masculine. But yeah, I do see that they struggle, and look at that. We've got the 5 of Pentacles. Feeling like they've lost everything, left out in the cold. They're not doing well. Just feeling like life is weighing very heavily on them. That is the vibe. That is the energy that I am getting. Almost feeling like they're caged in, that they can't move. They can't take a step forward for whatever reason. We do see the 7 of Swords. We do see the Knight of Wands. And then, interestingly enough, we see the 4 of Wands representing the twin flame connection here. So this is all part of the story if you resonate with it. If your twin flame divine masculine cheated on you due to a karmic partnership, that could have been part of their lesson again. And it needed to be ironed out. That was something that they needed to figure out on their own. And so it was one of those things. It kind of reminds me of that Sting song. What is that Sting song? If you love someone, set them free. If they come back, then you guys are meant to be. And Knight of Wands is the type of individual occasionally where they're not ready to plant their flag in a relationship. They don't want to settle down. They feel that there's more to explore, other connections, to be able to just see what their options are. So that was an issue, I feel, for those of you relating to this. And Four of Wands represents this divine masculine's desire to come back into union with you. We see that from the very first card. We're seeing that here. They want that reunion. They still recognize that perhaps, you know, you're very much a part of their heart, very much a part of their soul. So this was not easy for this masculine. Eight of Cups, and just the verbiage here. I've been plagued by karmic lessons since you left me. So Divine Feminine, if you did walk away from your masculine, for some of you guys, I feel it might have surprised them. Maybe they weren't expecting you to take that step, but you felt empowered to do so. You felt the need to do that, to take back control of your life. And they felt it. They feel that emptiness. Wheel of Fortune, Hangman. I'm picking up here that more than likely, Divine Feminine, if you relate to this, you needed to take a step back from this connection with your masculine. Not that you didn't care for them, not that you didn't love them. I feel in your heart, you know, there's something very special in your heart still for your masculine, but you needed to kind of regroup. You needed to heal. You needed to find yourself again. And the only way to do that was to not be with your masculine. Let them learn whatever lessons they needed, especially having to do with karmic partnerships, possibly third-party situations, whatever the drama was, you know? So I feel the time away served you well, and it served them in however way it needed to. But things can actually turn around for you and this person. There is change coming. You know, we've already experienced the new energy coming in with a brand new year. And so I feel that this could represent a new cycle for this connection for number 2. It has not been easy, but I do feel that for those of you who would be open to the possibility of speaking to your masculine, to be able to see them again, to be able to, you know, either find closure, to certainly continue the healing that needs to happen, and for some of you even be open to the opportunity at reuniting. We do have the Lovers, okay. So some of you guys might be thinking of Gemini here. So Lovers, chemistry is off the charts. It's definitely a card of partnerships, unity, duality, but it can also be a card of, you know, being attracted to other people. It can represent love triangles on occasion. And so if that was the type of decision that your masculine had made at that point in time, it certainly resulted in the two of you not being in each other's lives. But I do feel the moment they made that decision, it was almost instantaneous regret. And Divine Feminine, it is confirming here for me that more than likely you did leave your masculine. You are not going to settle for anything less than what you deserve. So more than likely there were some pretty intense conversations between you and your masculine here. Judgment, they'll be back. Your masculine had to continue with their journey, and part of that was to learn karmic lessons, as we see here, having to tie up loose ends with other people, other connections that really were not meant to carry forward into your masculine's future, because I feel that this masculine is really wanting you to fill that void, wanting you to be able to be a part of that future. And so this right here is an indication of communication from your divine masculine twin flame. They will find a way to reach out. They will find a way to communicate. For some of you, again, it could be an apology. It could be closure. It could be healing. And for some, it could be a second chance, a reconciliation. All right, so that is what I have for number 2, guys. Hopefully there was something in this one that made sense for you and your relationship with your divine masculine twin. If not, feel free to go and watch the other ones. Hopefully there's something there for you. So for those of you who chose number 3, let's go ahead and get into those messages. All right, if you chose number 3, these are the messages that came through. These are the decks that I ended up using. The Twin Flame Journey Oracle by Mystic Moon, the Dark Mysteries Oracle, which is my deck, focusing on the Divine Masculine's heart space, so we'll grab that card in a minute, and the Sands of Time Oracle by Jennifer Aquarius Tarot. So let's go ahead and get into it. This is what came through, Pride and Ego on behalf of this masculine. And the verbiage from this one, I'm just going through the motions, trying to pretend I'm okay. I'm not okay. And then the last card, time's up. So I really feel for number 3, this masculine literally has run out of time to figure things out. It's time to get past their ego and to just face the music, so to speak, that could have also prevented them from taking any sort of action towards you or the connection, Divine Feminine. So let's go ahead and clarify this with some tarot. So it clearly is telling us your divine masculine twin is not doing so well. So let's grab some tarot here and see what we can find out. Time's up. It's time to level up, divine masculine. It's time to take a step, make a decision, and stop going through the motions and actually take action here. So let's see if they can actually do that, Divine Feminine. Time's up. Yeah, the World, cycle completion. It's like holding on to a book that's finished and not wanting to put it down and read the next book. Open up a brand new chapter. So there's a new cycle that's really wanting to open up here for this Divine Masculine and the connection with you, Divine Feminine, but only they can actually take that step. Look at that. You've got the Chariot coming through. So yeah, it makes sense because this right here represents the movement that is necessary. This right here for me represents like a red light. It's like, okay, stop being in this type of mentality and open up a brand new door and really face the situation. Because whatever the issues were, whatever those obstacles represent, through taking the necessary steps, there's the possibility that this might actually end up with a positive outcome, but without any sort of action or movement or communication from your Divine Masculine. It's kind of in limbo, So let's see. Look at these cards. Okay, so the Chariot represents this triumphant outcome, the Six of Wands, success, victory. That's what's on this masculine's journey. But it's like failing to open up the door and start the journey, start a new path. Because that path might actually lead back to you, Divine Feminine, for those of you who are wanting to reconnect with your masculine. Yep, look at this, Two of Wands, followed by the Empress, and then we have the Strength card. So this is interesting. I feel we have a masculine here who's been stagnant for a bit, struggling to really get to a point where they can make a solid decision, not only for the connection, but for their life. Here we are with the Two of Wands. They could be at a crossroads deciding what direction to go, but instead of deciding, they're kind of just standing there and not doing anything. Divine Feminine, I mean, this is your energy, and your masculine feels it, your masculine knows it, picking up off of your vibe still. But there's also this Strength card right here. I feel we might have a masculine who's struggling to find the courage to move forward, possibly due to the ramifications that might happen, or they're thinking that you might ultimately reject them, Divine Feminine, if they were to reach out, if they were to try again. Let's see. what do we need to know here? Five of Swords. Either the masculine decided to distance himself or you did, Divine Feminine. I'm picking up intuitively that it could have been my feminines that distanced from the relationship, especially if your masculine really failed to see the value of this relationship at that time. You know, so it's one of those things where the masculine needed to lose the feminine in order to wake up a little bit. Because life moves on, but maybe they're not moving on. They're not okay. We see that. Just living life, going through the motions, as it says, but not really living. More than likely, that is because you are not in this masculine's life. Look at that, 9 of Cups. The Sun. All of these positive cards that are presenting itself simply by allowing that new cycle to come in. But what I'm picking up for number 3 is we have a bit of a stubborn divine masculine here. You know, the pride and ego reference. They self-sabotage. They get in their own way. You know, it's like the universe is dangling this amazing future. But this is a masculine that might not see it if they don't wake up. If they don't open up their heart, their eyes to what really is in front of them. Welcome in that new cycle, because you guys can find happiness here. I mean, 9 of Cups, I mean, wishes that they have, that they are not pursuing. You know, it's just all in their mind rather than a part of their reality, because they're not doing anything to make it a reality. This kind of reminds me, you know, it's like the universe is saying, hurry up already. Do something about this. Time's up. The light just turned green. Go, you know. But we have a masculine here who is failing to step on that accelerator and get that journey going, get this chariot moving. It's not surprising to me that we have the Tower. More than likely that resulted in this masculine not stepping up to the plate, not being the type of partner that you really needed them to be at that time, Divine Feminine. Will they ever get out of that mental space, you know? Let's see. Page of Pentacles, future abundance. Okay. The Page of Pentacles is about manifestation. And so I feel for this masculine, they're actually ignoring all of this amazing stuff that could come in because they're too focused on more of the negative things that they've experienced in the past. You know, here we are with that rainbow and that pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, but they fail to see it. I'm just picking up off of a self-sabotage here for number 3 for this masculine. And it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be that. Yeah. They think about you. Here we are with the 6 of Cups. Some of you guys might, you know, relate to the childhood sweethearts reference. Maybe you guys have known each other a very long time. For others, I feel you've definitely connected in a past connection, a past life. And when you first met in this lifetime, it was an instantaneous attraction. You know, maybe you guys didn't even understand it at the time, but this masculine, I'm also getting for some, you know, they perhaps are attractive, you know, they look good, they know that they could find love at any given time, or certainly find a relationship. Love is a whole different story. Okay. Well, I'm super happy to see the Emperor because I do feel that eventually this is a masculine that's going to be able to get past all of this negative energy, negative thoughts, and actually get to a place where they will do something about the connection to create movement and progress. So I do feel for those relating to number 3, Divine Feminine, maybe you've been waiting a long time, and hopefully you haven't put your life on hold waiting for this masculine to take action, because it could take some time, but I feel when they're ready, it could result in union. It could result in a very happy outcome. Okay, remember, you've got the Sun, you've got the Chariot, that triumphant outcome. I mean, wishes fulfilled, we've got success, victory. So you guys can actually have a very happy ending to this love connection. It's just a matter of the masculine getting to embody the energies of this Emperor and take control of not only their thoughts, but their life, and the overall outcome of this relationship might actually be a very happy one, you know? So that's what I have there. It could take a minute, a good minute, but I feel when the time is right, you know, this is a masculine who might just surprise you ultimately with finally showing up in the way that they needed to. So Divine Feminine, you know, it comes down to timing, divine timing, definitely. So in the meantime, just focus on your own journey, focus on your own life, and let this masculine figure things out on their own. When they are ready, they will communicate, they will come towards you. And hopefully for some of you, it can have a very happy outcome. All right, guys, so that is what I have. Hopefully with whichever scenario, whichever number you ended up choosing, that there was something that related to your situation. If not, hopefully I'll be able to tap into your love connection sometime in the future. I've definitely got a whole lot more readings coming your way. All right, guys, so that's it for now. If you'd like your own reading, that info is down below in the description box, and I will link all of the decks that you see here. And I forgot to mention the entire month of January, I announced it on my IG page. I have particular full-length readings that are actually on sale for $75. It's an hour reading. Typically, they're $165 and up. So if you want to take advantage of that, feel free to go ahead and check out my Instagram page. It's The Celestial Forecasts by Carrie, and all of the information is there. All right, guys, that's it for now. Thank you so much for tuning in, and please like, share, subscribe, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Take care.